great day, great day, everyone. We're here live today with the girl Erica Wilson, and it had to happen for our NFL moms and families, bringing the table to the table. Today, guys, we're going to be we are all ladies on today, and I'm so excited. That's why I'm getting tongue tied here because I'm very, very excited that we have all of our beautiful mothers and sisters on today. So, without further ado, as I begin to call their name, Mish, can you bring them on the stage with me? We have the beautiful Sandra Perryman, which is the mother of pro athlete Denzel Perryman. Secondly, we
Hello.
have the beautiful Brianna Watts, which is the sister of pro athlete Ray Armstrong. Next,
Hello.
the beautiful Melissa Berry, which is the mother of the pro athlete Damien Berry, also
Hello.
Bishop Berry's wife.
Hello.
And
Hello.
we have the beautiful Melissa Phillips, which is the mother of pro athlete Lynn Bowden Jr. Ladies, say hello to the people on today.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Melissa, can we hear you?
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes.
All right, ladies, we're going to just dive right on into this thing because this is something that we want to be able to inform people on. By any means, we're not telling you this is what you should do or trying to convince you on what to do. We're just sharing our experiences here on It Had to Happen NFL Moms, bringing the table to the table. So, Sandra, we're going to go ahead and start with you first. Okay, being a sports mom, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when your son first started out, did you see him playing sports as a way of babysitting, or actually you wanted him to learn an experience?
Well, I would say actually learning experience because he grew up playing football. He started out in Pop Warner, and that was something that he wanted to do. So again, in our house, it's a rule where whatever you start, you're gonna finish. So for him, it was actually the love of the sport for him because that's something that he really wanted to do, and he just dedicated himself to it, and God saw fit to take his talents to the next level.
Mm, love, love, love it. So with you, Brianna, I know we can't say for babysitting for you because he was your big brother, right? So we can say, did you think that this was a form of just getting him out your hair, or did you want him to really learn something from the from football?
I think it's something that he enjoyed. We actually grew up in Pop Warner together. So while he and my oldest brother were playing football, I was a cheerleader. So it was something that our mom got us involved in that kept us out of trouble, but that it also helped build a foundation to help build our character, to help build discipline, and also to help build our athletic ability.
Hmm, absolutely. What did you say, Sister Melissa Berry? For Damien, did you see it a form of babysitting, or did you really want him to learn something from the game?
Well, like Sandra was saying, we allowed him to choose the sport that he wanted to play, and football happened to be what he wanted to play at the time. Being that my husband played football, it was kind of easy, but we didn't push him. We allowed him to make the choices. We gave him several opportunities to play different sports, and football just happened to be the one that he gravitated more to.
Hmm, that's good. Okay, Sister, I think we lost our other sister here, Melissa Phillips, but it's okay. We'll wait for her to come back in to answer the question. And I, agree with all of you ladies. It is a for you want your child to learn something from it, and in our house as well. Whatever the child wants, it wasn't something that we pushed on Alan. That just was his, something that he wanted to do. Started at the age of 4, so we just made sure that whatever it is, I made sure that I'll back him, and what he wanted to do. And by his older brother starting out the same time he did, it was very good for Alan to follow in his brother's footsteps. So now we're going to move on to the next question. And I want to know, Sandra, what age did Denzel start playing football?
He started Pop Warner when he was 7. I think it was 7.
Okay.
7.
Brianna for Ray Ray?
I think Ray Ray was 5.
Wow. Okay. Melissa Bear.
Lynn was 5.
Okay, we have two Melissa. So, okay, Lynn Bowden, Melissa. Lynn was 5. That?
Yes, Lynn was 5.
Okay. And Melissa Berry, how old was Damien?
Damien was 4 because he started out with flag football first, and then he went into um, Pop Warner.
Wow. So we all. I think the oldest is 7, the youngest is 4. Melissa, Barry, you and I. Alan was 4 as well. Lynn and Ray Ray was 5, and then Denzel was 7. And as you guys can see, these young men, they excelled in everything that they set out to do, whether whatever it is, on and off the field, because we all, not that, we're the moms and the sisters, of course, we're going to have nothing but good things to say about them, but we can say that we can pat ourselves on the back because our boys did it on and off the field. So Sandra, tell me about a time where you just was very, very proud of Denzel for doing something off the field.
Let's see. I have a lot of times. I'm always proud of him, whether he's on the field or off the field. But I say, off the field, good father. He's a good father. Um, he loves his kids and he'll do anything for his kids. Loves to spend time with his family. And yeah, I would just say family time and his kids. That shows a lot to me because now in this era we don't have a lot of male participation when it comes in to parenting with their kids. So to see him and the love he have for his kids, it makes me proud.
Yes. Wow. Okay. Bree, where was a time off of the field? Just name one of the times off the field that you were proud of Ray Ray.
I agree about being a great father. Ray is an amazing, very active and involved father. But I also was proud of him when he put on his football camp called Ray Ray Day. He has done it consecutively since college. We've taken a break some years off, but I love when he brings the community together, the young boys together, his teammates, his peers, people he played with at all levels together to put on a football camp and a training camp. And not only does he teach and train athletic ability, but he also speaks on character and academics and the importance of, beating the odds and staying focused and staying on track. I love when he pours back into the community, into the young men, because so many are looking up to him. And so that makes me really proud.
Awesome. Awesome. So now we'll move on to Melissa Phillips. When was a time that you were very proud of? I know, as Sandra said, we're proud of our kids on and off the field, but name at least one time when you were proud of Lynn off the field.
I'm gonna piggyback off of what they say. I'm constantly putting up videos of Lynn just showing the other side, the side that people don't get to see 24/7, which is him being a father as well as a son, a cousin, a teammate, community worker, and just going back and giving back to the alumni, the ones that are younger than him, um, taking, some of the leadership skills that he has and developing them each and every day. After an injury, this is the most thing that I'm probably proud of also. Just hearing that my son works out 3 times a day.
since he's 100% cleared back from an injury. That was his first injury ever in life since he was 5 that he actually had to miss any game time. So an entire year off, and just seeing ever since they cleared him, I think he took off 5 days after that, and then he initially went right back into the 3 times a day workouts. And I think he only takes off 2 days during the week where he allows his body to rest. And it's probably a 1 a day workup at that time. But him just coming back emotionally, physically, 100% and preparing for the next season, that is amazing to me, because it didn't just affect him or the fans, it affected me as well, because I've always been here. I think I've only missed 3 college games ever, and I missed all of the away games his first season. Other than that, I've been there, and like I said, the whole year with him being on. So I'm just proud of him being able to come back so he can try to make the best out of next season. So that's my most proud moment. Those two.
Okay. And sis Melissa Berry, what would you say is your proud moment for Damien off of the field?
I would say Damien coached football, high school football, for about 4 years. And just seeing how he poured into those young men what the God-given abilities that God had given him, he was able to harness them and show others how it was done at each level, starting at the high school level, then college, and then the professional level. And he poured into them on a constant basis. Even when he didn't get paid. 2 years when he did it, he didn't get paid. He volunteered. And so those things, that's one of the things. And just seeing how nurturing he is with his daughters. And then his Christmas toy drive he did. So it's just a lot of things. And I just thank God for the heart that he has for his community as well. And in the surrounding areas, the Muck area, Belgrade, Pahokee, South Bay. So, those areas where he pours more into it than anywhere else, because that's where, it's where he's from. And so and just proud of him as a son altogether.
Mm-hmm. Wow, that is so awesome. One of the things I can say that we all share outside of you, Brianna, one thing I can say that we all can say is we're all grandmas, and Bree, you're an auntie. So, and not only that we're all grandmothers and aunties, but our children and our brother, they're all involved in their children's lives and doing such a phenomenal job. And Sandra, you said it best. We don't have enough of absent parents. As a parent, you can't pick and choose when you want to be a parent. So we thank God that our children and our brother is being stand-up guys, with their children, because we're raising our future leaders, and they need someone to lead by example. And we thank God that God has blessed each and every one of us and poured that into our young men to be able to display those type of things to others, and not just be a father to their own children. Melissa, you said Damien did it several places. You also spoke about Ray Brianna saying that he did it several places, and everywhere Alan has played. I know we took our nonprofit there, and we poured into wherever he was at, whether it's Jacksonville, Dallas, or Miami, where we were born and raised. We just did so. God allowed us to do some amazing things through the organization and be able to pour back into kids that was just like him. So, and Sandra, I know my nephew did many of things, not just being a father to his own kids, but outside of that. And I'm sure Lynn as well, with your other grandkids, Melissa, Phillips. So that's something that we love here, and I can pat myself on the back. So ladies, go ahead and give yourself a pat on the back for that, because we have some stand-up guys. So our next question will be that we know that this happened a lot, y'all. So what happened, Sandra, when Denzel come to you and talk about things that happened in the game that he just knew wasn't his fault, but the coach got on him? Let me ask you this. How was it? I want to, it's a two-part question. So, ladies, please listen because I won't have to repeat it. So, okay, the first question would be, he came to you and he told you about a problem that he faced and he knew that it wasn't his fault, right?
Mm-hmm.
How are you as a mother going to react to your child when they come to you and complain about a coach or a teammate? Sandra, you first.
Okay, that's funny because Denzel never comes to me with a problem that he has on the field. But if it did occur, I would just tell him, don't be upset, to remain humble and just, okay, coach, you're right. I'll do better. But Denzel is a comical kid. So his response would probably be that, but then he'll probably say, "But coach, that wasn't my fault. But I understand and I get it." But I would just tell him to to stay focused and to remain humble and just say, "Okay, coach, I'll do better next time. It won't happen again," or something like that. But Denzel talks to his father about things that happen on the field as far as football. He very seldom come to me about a issue that happens on the field. But
Okay,
that
so,
that would be my advice to him, and I think he would listen to it.
oh, absolutely, definitely. So, Brianna, what would you say if your brother came to you with this problem that he was faced? How would you handle it?
Um, I think we've had that experience a few times, and he definitely does go to his dad about that football talk and all of those penalties, and it wasn't my fault, it was such and such fault. But we definitely support him, even when he's like not in the wrong, and a team will hold that against him, whether that be um, him sitting out or being picked up by another team. We always just support him and encourage him. But we're also very truthful. Like if there was a penalty or a mistake, we always hold him accountable, and he's always very humble, and open to constructive criticism on how he can get better. He's always working on his craft. He's open to feedback. So I always support my brother, whether he's right or wrong. But we are also very honest. Like if there is a mistake that he made, he knows what he has to do next time to prevent that from happening.
Oh, absolutely. I love that. Love that answer. So, Melissa, Phillips, moving on to you. What would you say?
Lynn. Lynn is Lynn isn't when it comes to football, he doesn't feel like I understand, so he's not gonna come to me. The only time I can actually say, as far as his pro career, the only time I can actually say that my son has actually came to me far as anything, not necessarily during the game, because that's his time. He doesn't want me involved in that. Maybe in college he might have came to me far as anything dealing with the coaches, and I was one of those moms that as long as you didn't see me, it wasn't an issue. Um, if you see me, we had some things to work out, and that was that. But as a grown man in his professional career, it being his job, he hasn't come to me, and I'm good with that because I feel like I did my part, and for now I trust his judgment, and I feel like I gave him enough of his tools as a young man, and it's his life moving forward. So hopefully whatever I installed in him on the field and off the field, he'll be able to handle that. So yeah, his professional career, nah, he's not that type of guy. He's not coming to his mom, and no offense towards anyone else, but that's just the type of guy he is. He's not gonna come to me for nothing. But like I said, back in college, if it was something that he couldn't handle, which was normally something during practice, not actually during um a game or anything. So sorry guys, I don't have anything for his professional career. But college, that's a whole nother aspect. So
Yeah, I think, okay, we're speaking overall, not just professional career, right? We're
Okay.
just asking was there a time, not that our kids or anybody kids or our brother come to them complaining. It may just be something over dinner. And they may just say, you know what? I know that interception wasn't my fault. Or I know that missed tackle wasn't my fault. That's what we're asking, and in a sense of that, not where they're just coming home just complaining to us, because I know that I can attest Alan don't talk. So, and that's just that. But at the end of the day, we're just trying to figure out, was there ever a time where they came home and was like, you know, your son being a wide receiver, Melissa Phillips, man, that interception wasn't my fault, or that drop ball wasn't my fault. How would you handle that if he were to come home and say that to you? Like, how would you handle that if he were to do that?
Again, that I know you're a single mom. Lynn has always been, he had to kind of grow up early, so we kind of grew up together. I was 18 when I had Lynn, and I've always put into Lynn that he's the man of the house. So Lynn's not the type of guy when it comes to football. Football is football. I'm not coming to you unless it's an absolute must. But like I said, it would only be stuff that can't be worked out on the field. So unfortunately, he doesn't express that to me. Maybe some of his cousins or somebody else, but me, when it comes to me, it's not. Yeah, he's just not gonna do that. He tries to figure that stuff out before he leaves the locker room. So I can't really say that he's ever came to me and said anything. Now I might try to address some stuff, but like I said, I had him so young. So when it was time for mature things to be discussed, we didn't have that because he was already a father at 19. So he kind of wanted to pave his own way, and I stepped back and allowed him to.
Okay. Melissa Berry, was there ever a time when Damien came home, whether it, was on or off the field, and knew something that was not his fault, and came home and just, talked to you about it? How how was your response to him? Because we just want to, we want to let the people know that sometimes our kids definitely experience something, whether it's on or off the field. And we know in this field, in this in football or sports period, there are definitely going to be some things that's discussed, whether on or off the field. So how was it ever a time that Damien came and spoke with you about anything, and what was your response?
Well, yes. As you know, Sissy, Damien and I are really close,
Yes.
and he would always, we always had our discussions, but at the end of the day, I would always tell him that, you know, he has to be able to separate, you know, me from his coach, because I may give him something that he wants to hear. Most of the time, I'm telling him something that he wants to hear, but in actuality, he needs to hear it coming straight from the coach as opposed to me. And and I don't go against anything that the coaches may have or would have told him. I always tell him what's right. At the end of the day, I may sugarcoat it a little bit, but then his dad comes back and says, no, that's not right. He needs to do this. So
Mhm.
my husband being a coach, I kind of step back, with some of those discussions, and allowed my husband to, kind of tell him what was right, to point him in the right direction, as opposed to, we entrusted him to these coaches. And so now we have to allow the coaches to do their job.
Man, so true. Absolutely. I love everybody's responses because I mean, again, we're trying, this is not by any means trying to tell you guys what you should do. We're just sharing our experiences. And all of you, outside of Melissa Phillips, she really don't know Alan like that. But Alan, Brianna, I think you know him a little bit, but Alan don't do too much talking. And So I never got a chance to experience that. However, I will ask questions. You might just get a one-word answer or a two-word answer, and that's just it. He's not going to do too much talking. But the thing is, what we want to try and do with our children, we're their mothers. We know dads. Some of the dads are present in their lives, and some dads are not. So with the ones who do not have their dad, who is their outlets? Where are their outlets? Is what we're trying to say here. And some, like Melissa Berry said, you may say one thing, the dad gonna jump in and straighten whatever needs to be straightened. And I know my brother Desmond Perry will do the same with you, Sandra. So, all right, moving on, right? Say your child or your brother had a week, like a week performance one week, you know, um, will your child sense your disappointment? Or your brother sense your disappointment? Will they be afraid to talk to you after that? I'll face you, not talk to you, but will they be afraid to face you after that? Sandra, starting with you.
No, he won't be afraid to face me, but he will be more disappointed in himself than me being disappointed in him. So I think it'll bother him for about a day or two. But then, if he says something to me about it, I'll just tell him, that game is in the past. Moving forward, what could you do better that you didn't do in the past game? So I just tell him, to stay focused and just look ahead. Don't, constantly look back on the mistakes that you made in the past. Just see what you can do to make it better, moving forward. But
Oh,
yeah,
that's
it definitely will bother him.
yeah, that's good. What about you, Bree?
Ray Ray wouldn't be afraid to come to me or to us. He'll probably just vent about it and then take it out on the next game and have a phenomenal performance. So, um, yeah, he'll get it out. He'll complain or whatever or criticize himself, but the next game you'll definitely see him try to prove himself and improve himself from the previous mistakes.
Absolutely, absolutely. Melissa Phillips. What
Uh,
about Lynn?
so when I did used to have a voice as far as his football career, that probably would have been back from probably like little league all the way through high school and a little bit into college. I was mean. I was the mom
Oh,
that if you didn't do something right, listen, I be cussing y'all. I used to be on the sideline, good, bad, or ugly on the sideline. If you run it down the sideline in little league, I'm down there running with you with your touchdowns. But if you mess up, I'm on the sideline cussing with the F and and being that our league was predominantly black, it was a it was like that was the necessary norm. Eesh. But it is just where we came from. I mean, it's a great league. They had some great superstars, but I was kind of like I said, I was super young, so my mouth was a little it 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 was a little rough, and it got better during the years. Like I told you before, he censored me after a while. He like, look, all that you gotta stop all that. So in the beginning, I was the mean mom. If he did something wrong, he definitely heard about it because I ain't got time to waste. You ain't got me down here. You need to fix that, and I think that's was giving him the drive and the motivation that he has now. There was nobody else. I had great college mentors and great mentors along the way, but it was just me and him for the most part, as far as raising them. And when we got home, so yeah, I was that mom that was cussing and ranting and raving because I didn't have time to waste. So I can go to work. So
all right now. Okay, Melissa Berry.
Okay, Sissy, could you repeat the question? I had a grandchild moment.
Oh, okay. All right. So, say for instance, Damien had a bad performance in the game, right? Will he be scared to come see you after that?
Yeah, probably. Like Melissa stated, I wasn't a cursor, but I was that mom, like she said, from Pop Warner on up to high school, even in college, I would run up and down, the sideline. I would do the most. When he got to the end zone, I'm waiting on him down there. So I wouldn't yell and scream at him, but I would tell him, you should have did this, or you could have did that a little better. You slacked on this play right here. But for the most part, he wouldn't. Yeah, he wouldn't be. He wouldn't have a problem coming to me after the game because he knew, that I was doing it in love, and I wasn't criticizing him, but I was just telling him that to make him better for the next game, to help him improve. But that was something, like I said, we're really close. So he has no problem coming to me, with anything.
Mm-hmm. That's good. That's good. So I can say, well, with Alan, no, he won't be definitely he won't be afraid to face me. Um, but when he do have any weak performances where he can hear me, uh, only thing I say, all right, not this time, but next time. I have not really, but I'm that mom too that ran up and down, and I didn't do, the cursing, but I did run up and down the field with Alan. You heard my mouth. But this next question, ladies, I want you to be totally, totally honest because I'm going to be very honest with this next question because it really trips me out. And I just thank God for change, okay? So when your child has these weak performances, and say you're at the game and you hear, or your brother, and you hear these people around you just saying these mean things about your child or your brother, just go ahead and give me your honest answer and tell me what was that like for you, Sandra.
Oh wow. Like my sister Melissa, I was a cursor. And honesty, all honesty, I was ready to fight because nobody wants to hear anybody talk about their child,
Yeah.
especially when it comes down to sports or something that they did or didn't do wrong. So yeah, I was a cursor, and I was ready to fight, and I didn't care who it was, male or female. It didn't matter to me. I was ready to fight. At the time, it'll always be my husband. You know, you don't have to say nothing. Don't worry about it. But then he'll get mad, and then now I'm telling him, "Oh, now the tables turned. Now you the cusser, and you hollering." But yeah, I will always be in defense mode. I will always be in defense mode.
I can't do that but laugh. Okay, Brianna.
I'm pretty sure if there was ever a time that maybe Ray missed a tackle and like the crowd said something, we would be mad. I would be mad if he missed a tackle and like, dang, what you doing? But if I heard anybody say anything sideways, then I'm gonna say something back unapologetically. So it would be wise of people to watch their words because I'm going to have words to respond.
Wait, Brianna, so you didn't say anything? I didn't hear you.
No, I'm saying that if there was a time, I don't remember, like if there was a time that I heard somebody because of the position that he plays, like with him, it would probably be missing a tackle, like a big tackle, and somebody scoring, and he was the last one at the line of defense. And so if we would be mad, we would be upset, and of course we would react like, "Dang, Ray, how you missed that? Do better, da da da." But if I heard somebody like in the stands, if there was a time that I heard somebody say something, I'm going to say something back, and it won't be. Don't talk about my brother. We could talk about my brother, but don't talk.
I'm laughing, guys, because it's so funny, and I'm glad that you just said that, Brianna. We can talk about my brother. Don't talk about my brother. So come on, Melissa Phillips. Was there ever a time you said I did not stay?
Now what? Now why you want to put me on the spot? Now you know I'm a fool. Well, I didn't get better, but let's see. Uh, it's a lot of incidents, but I never like went to jail or anything. But like I said, I'm working on it. My grandson wants me to work on the curse words, so I'm working on it. But yeah, the only thing I can remember that I would tell about, he was playing high school basketball, and I think I want to say this like sophomore year, like I said, prior to getting censored. um a guy was talking crap from the opposing team. You know, they always got, especially if it's a big crowd, y'all mixed in amongst each other for whatever reason. And so I think I was like three steps up, and I heard the dude, he just kept talking to my son on the court because it was that close. Just kept saying stuff. And like eventually he was, he was talking to him like he was grown. Now my son ain't grown. I'm the mama and the daddy, so I'm gonna show you exactly. You want to pick on the kid, so I stumped down three steps, sat right in behind him. The man had to been a little over 6'4". I ain't care. I'm only 5'9". I sat right behind him and I said, "Now who is you talking about?" And he was like, "Who?" I was talking to him. I said, "And I'm talking to you. That's my son. This is what you ain't gonna do. You ain't finna sit and on and on." He really ain't say nothing else. Yeah, you need to shut, whatever. This ain't that. And then like I had sister moms that was basketball moms as well. And I think all but one was a single mom. So I had the crew. You know what I mean? And they was down for whatever. So I mean it was that. It was all about protecting our young black men that, are often unprotected at that moment. And they're doing something that you probably, and my next question would be, have you ever played basketball? Have you ever went out there and did what he doing? Can you do what he did? You know what I mean? So yeah, I was overboard. So yeah, that question, I'm changed now. I'm normally the one calming everybody else down. It's okay, but the old me, oh yeah, you can get it any way, shape, form. I'm ready. What you want to do? Because I lead this game, and we could go to the parking lot. But not, yeah.
All
I'm
right.
different now.
All right, Melissa Berry. Let's terrible time that you sat in those stairs. I had to go at it with somebody about Damien's.
Yes, there was, and I can piggyback off what Sandra said and what Melissa said, because my cousin and I went to a game, and somebody was talking smack, and I turned around and I was like, "Excuse me, do you want me to snatch you down from up there? Because I will." And I had my cousin with me, and yes, my husband is a pastor, but when it comes to my children, I have zero understanding.
That's
And
right.
so my cousin was with me, and she's the cursor. And she was like just throwing all these bombs out there. I was like, "Huh?" So then, thank God, we finally got her calm. And like, we were at a Ravens game, and Terrell Suggs had these bodyguards, and they came over and they was like, "Mama B, y'all okay?" And we were like, "Yeah, we're good." He's like, so they were like, "Don't y'all leave them alone," because my husband wasn't with me that day, that game, and it was just me and my cousin. And they came over, and the guy, they didn't say anything else after Suggs' crew came over and was talking to us. We had no more problems after that, because look, I tell them I can take care of my own. I don't need any help. So my husband, like Sandra said, her husband says, "Babe, don't worry about it. Don't say anything." That's my husband. "Babe, don't say anything. Just don't say anything to him." "Oh no, you ain't gonna just talk about my child like that." So I had to just, and I have to pray later. When it's all over, I pray and ask for forgiveness. Yes, I do. But at that moment, I have to get some straightening.
Oh yeah. I love everybody being transparent because we have to know that whether we're pastor wives or whatever title, we hold, we're still human. We still have feelings, especially us mothers, boy. Bree, it probably a little different from you as a sister. Well, I don't know about that. It's probably the same, but yeah, don't do it. Please don't do it. So, but anywho, I thank God for change because I remember this particular game. Y'all know how them Patriot fans can get. Mm. I had this Patriot fan sitting behind me. Now, when Jaguars was up, he was quiet as a mouse. But soon as they cheated us out that game, he went to just talking smack, and then said something about Allen. The young lady I was sitting there with, before I knew it, I lost it. And I didn't have to say a curse word. But my look and me getting up in his face, like Melissa Phillips said, I don't care you male or female, don't talk about my child. I was all up in that man's face, and the girl who I was with, she was like, Miss Erica? And I lost it. You're talking about my child. And the things that he was saying, I'm like, oh my gosh, are you serious? And I did ask the question, Melissa Phillips. I said, what down did you play? Did you ever play the game? And it just got so bad to where and they had to pull me from the guy because I was ready to rumble. I'm not going to no parking lot by my child. We're going to do it right here. So, Melissa, I ain't going to no parking lot. But thank God for change. And yes, you will have to pray later. But yes, those are some of the experiences that we do face at a game. People have to understand, like, family is there. And you saying all these things, but at those games, I think anything goes because when you hear, oh man, some of how can you say it? The fans really think that they're the ones that plan the game. So I experienced something on Twitter the other day, right? And I want to know how you ladies feel about this. The guy had a nerve to say, if it wasn't for the fans, then our kids would be nothing. And I had to quickly remind him and say, if it wasn't for God, that's the only way our kids won't be nothing because that's who gave them the gifts. So I did say that to him. I did respond. Normally I don't respond, but I did have to respond to that. So how do you ladies feel hearing something like that? Fans thinking that if it wasn't for them, our kids won't be anything. Starting with you, Sandra.
I think I would have responded the same way that you did. But prior to Denzel getting into the league, he told me, because I used to tell him how I used to read the comments about what people say. He was like, Mom, stop it. Just stay off of it. I don't care what they say. They can say whatever they want to say. You just stay off of it and just don't entertain it. So I just live by that, and I just try to stay off of it and try not to hear the comments. But I would have responded, the same way.
Mm-hmm. What about you, Brianna?
So I had learned very early on to stay off the internet because people are trolls, they are crazy, and they are dealing with things that have absolutely nothing to do with our family members. Dealing with the media, dealing with social media, it's a lot, and I pick and choose my battles wisely. Naturally, of course, you want to respond in their defense, and you want to respond with the truth, whatever the topic may be. But I had to really think about like my digital footprint. I had to think about like, does it really matter what they're saying? And sometimes I don't know. If you catch me on a bad day, I might respond with the truth or respond with something that'll make you feel as small as an ant. But 9 times out of 10, the further along we got, I've learned I just block people. I just end up blocking their page, reporting their page so they can no longer comment, or I'll tell my brother to block them. But naturally, like I remember a few times he'll just be posting on his Instagram and somebody will come and say something crazy. Like it could be a picture of him and my niece or a picture after a game and people will come and say stuff crazy. And there were times where I did respond. But I learned, as I got a little older and I started caring about my digital footprint, to like, just instead of responding to those people, like I look at the bigger picture, and it's like they're dealing with stuff. They're already miserable. Misery loves company, and I'm not coming to that party. And I will block them or report them, because I cannot get consumed. I can't, because I'll be there all day long defending my brother all day long.
Okay, let me go back and revamp the question. What I'm asking is, what do you think about that person that's saying that if it wasn't for the fans, not to respond, but what I'm asking is, what do you think about the person saying, if it wasn't for the fans, our kids won't be anything? That's my question. Like,
I think that's simply not true. And like you said, if it wasn't for God, they wouldn't be there. The fans don't necessarily pay their salary, I don't think. But I just think that's not true. They were there for a person, they were for a reason, for a purpose, and they were given their ability and their talent for a reason. So I just think that's simply not true, and that fan is crazy.
Excuse me. I totally agree. So what do you feel about that, Melissa Phillips? Be nice.
Oh, I'm always gonna be nice. I told you that was one of the reasons that we created the UK football moms. And I kind of agree with the fans to a certain extent. It took a combination of things to get our sons there. God, of course, us, then family, then friends, but fans do help with that salary because they pay to get there. A lot of them pay to get there. They buy the jerseys, they do this, they do that. So without their money, there is no NFL. So I try to be optimistic about all things. And the song Holy Grail best defines what they go through every day. No, it's not my position, but I know, like, me and my sister moms from college, that was one of the things we did respond to the fans, but we tried to give them a positive outlook, and if one of us was on there acting a fool or cutting a fool, which I rarely ever did, because like I said, I continue to say my son put a censor, and I would just try to have them understand from their perspective. First of all, these are young men; they have everyday lives, and this, and that. But now, moving forward in a professional career, I really don't have nothing to say. But the fans do play a big role, and without them, they do it for us. They do it for their fans. They need fans to put that money in their pocket. So I'll
Okay.
be a fool to say that
Wait. See,
they
my
don't need them.
question. Hold on. Let me stop you for a moment here. What I'm asking is, the fans. Yes, they do play a big part in it, right? But what I'm saying is, the fan is saying our kids won't be nothing without them. First of
They
all, God
wouldn't.
given the
They
talent.
wouldn't. Wait.
Okay.
So in their profession, we have to separate religious and politics. The
Mm-hmm.
fans play a huge role because those are the people that pay to see our children.
But they give
So
our kids the
it,
talent.
they give that money that pays for that talent. You know what I
Again,
mean?
what we're saying, we're speaking about the talent, not the. Okay, listen to what my question. They're saying our kids will be absolutely nothing. Okay, so if you want to separate the religious from the politics, I'm going to break this
Mm-hmm.
down. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
if our kids did not have that talent, there would be no fans. So
But
the
it'll be
talent has
another
to
them.
come, huh? I'm sorry.
It'll be another them. You know what I mean? Listen,
No, right.
like,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
like, in a perfect world, we always want it to be cut and dry one way, but sometimes, you have to think about everybody's point of view. You know what I mean? Not just mine, yours, or theirs. It has to be incorporated overall. They're absolutely right. We do need fans. We need
No,
that
we're
money.
not saying that. I think you mixing up what I'm saying. We know
But
for a fact that if it wasn't for no fans, who would be in the stands to watch them? Where would the money come from? But they're saying, we're not saying that we're ruling out the fans. That's not what we're saying. My question was,
mhm.
the fans said, if it wasn't for them, So it'll be another fan too, correct? Am I not right? If that fan
Hmm.
feel that our kids or whoever it may be, is nothing, that's he said nothing, meaning like there can be nothing without without the fans, because again, you have to understand that talent has to come from somewhere. Our kids get up, they go to workouts, like you said, Lynn, do
But
3 times a day. They
but
don't
the
see all that hard work, but the fans, we
but the
know fans important.
the
We
the talent is going to speak for itself, but we have to always remember that they play a big role in it. No, not one person or one thing is the thing that makes it takes collectively all things to make them great. But I believe that our sons, like all of you guys said, that our sons tell us to turn the other cheek. So when it comes to the fans, we absolutely do need them, and they do pay a huge part in the salaries and everything else. So
we
I
never
try.
don't need the fans. The only question that I asked was, the fans said that our kids would be nothing without them. I never stated that. And for the record, and for the people that's under the sound of our voices, I, Erica Wilson, never said that we don't need the fans. My question
Mhm.
was simply was, the fellow said our kids will be nothing without them. That's all I said. So Melissa
Mhm.
Berry, how do you feel about that statement? For meaning like our kids will be nothing. Because the one thing that I'm gonna do, I'm gonna always reverence my God, because I know I will be nothing without my God. So I'm gonna include the religions with the politics all day, because I know without God, none of this will be possible. And every chance that I get, long as I have breath in my body, He's been way too good to me for me not to reverence Him. So, Melissa Berry, how do you feel about that?
Well, I feel first and foremost, like you, Sissy, that if it had not been for God that gave them those talents and abilities to do what they do, nothing would be possible. On top of that, no fans have taken them to not one basketball game, not one football game, not one practice, sat up when they had injuries, that poured into our children. So to me, it doesn't matter what a fan says, because at the end of the day, the families that have been there from day one when they started on this journey are the ones that poured into them, and their coaches and mentors and other people that God have placed in their life throughout the course of their profession. So it's irrelevant what a fan may think.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, if you don't want to be there to support them, be it good, bad, or ugly, don't come. Don't pay your money. So that's the way I feel about it.
Yeah. That was my only question. It wasn't saying that by no means. Brianna, did you think that we don't need fans in order to our kid for our loved ones to play? Sandra, did you go ahead? You're good with that, right? Sandra, did you imply that?
No, I think we do need fans for support, but I don't think that, the statement is we need the fans. Our kids won't be nothing without the fans. I don't agree with that statement,
Right. So
because
I
our
want to
kids are something, regardless.
absolutely, whether they were playing ball or
Right,
not. You
right.
understand? So all I was trying to just put out there is, not by any means we're knocking the fans or saying bad things about the fans, because we know if those stands are empty, let me rewind. If those stands are empty, think about COVID. They still had to get out there and play, correct? That's just it. So here, we're not knocking fans. We love you guys. We love you, whether you talk about our kids. We love you beyond your faults, because we know we have faults as well. However, we want to just make sure that you understand how we as loved ones feel about the things that are said. Some may not care, some may not respond, but it's still the fact remain, our kids are something. whether football or not. There's something. And without God, it cannot be possible, because God is the one who instilled the talents in us all. He gave us all gifts. Every last one of us. Sis, you do the event planning. Brianna, you're a killer at resume writing. Sis, the first lady, it's just different things God gives us. And that's why we bring everything to the table. NFL moms and families bringing the table to the table. So by any means, we're not telling what you should do. We're just sharing our experiences with you all. So beginning with you, Sandra, is there anything that you would like to say to our guests before we go?
Thank you for watching. Keep supporting us. Support our kids. Whether you physically go to a game or just any way you can support. And just keep watching. Keep watching. There's more to come.
Absolutely. Brianna?
Send us questions if there's anything you would like to hear us discuss, anything that we didn't cover, anything you want us to clarify. Definitely send us questions so we can engage with you all. And thank you so much for watching and supporting the show and our loved ones. We really appreciate it.
Oh, that's good. Sis Melissa Berry?
Just thank you.
All right. So, guys, we're here live today with your girl, Erica Wilson, for our NFL moms and families, bringing the table to the table. Man, did we have an awesome time on today. And again, we're just sharing our experiences with you all. And as Brianna said, if there are any questions that you all would like to know, please do let us know. Or if there's any things that you would like to, question us about, please do so. We're open to answering as the best that we know how. We're the moms and the sisters of pro athletes Denzel, Perryman with the Raiders, as well as Ray Armstrong. Ray, last team, tell me really quick. Dallas Cowboys, and Super Bowl champion Damien Berry, as well as myself, Alan Hurns. Man, we're so proud of our young men, as well as pro athlete Lynn Bowden Jr. is with the Miami Dolphins. All right, guys, please do lay around, because we will be back before you guys, bringing the table to the table. So, ladies, let's go ahead and send out our audience some virtual hugs and some virtual love, because we love you guys here at It Had to Happen. And we're forever thankful for having you guys tune in with us here today at 4:30 for NFL moms and families, bringing the table to the table. God bless each and every one of you. Guys, please do be safe. Psalms 91 is ringing in my spirit. Go read it tonight and insert your name in it. God bless you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Erica's Empowering Empire. 88 Blessings Soar Movement. It had to happen in a beauty so rare. We'd love for you to join us by subscribing to our YouTube channel. It Had to Happen with Erica Wilson. Following our social media.